Receiving congratulations as well from those in attendance here at the auditorium in Verdun.
12 fois champion canadien, 3 fois champion nord-américain, également 5 fois champion mondial, WAKO et toujours invaincu. Il a participé aux films de Police Academy 3 et 4, également Speed Zone, Ding et Dong et bien d'autres. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, accueillons chaleureusement, have a warm welcome, Jean Frenette, Mesdames, Messieurs, Jean Frenette.
Jean Frenette to the applause here in Verdun.
Jean Frenette, former world champion in the forms competition, has traveled all over the world. Seminars.
Jean Frenette. Some of those kicks looking like they rattle off the roof here at the auditorium in Verdun.
The beauty, grace, and power of martial ballet. John Paul Mitchell, martial ballet.
3 of our championship bouts have been completed, and now we get ready for the co-main event and the fight that I think most here at the auditorium have been waiting for, and that is Yves Theriault and Tosca Petridis. Theriault, of course, the 38-year-old from Ottawa, from Orleans, Ontario, going against the Australian from Melbourne in Petridis. And we talked to Bob Wall when you were up doing your interview, of course, about how that win by Piotrowski, what that does to these 3 fighters all wanting to fight with Rick Rufus. But that separated shoulder may have more to say about that than anything.
It really could. A separated shoulder is that kind of injury that really plagues you for a long time. Let's go to Robert Tanguay for a special presentation.
Pour son intégrité et jugement d'arbitre, également pour avoir assuré le kickboxing au Québec, également d'avoir entraîné une nouvelle
Victor
génération.
Theriault making a presentation to Robert Panaton there in ring center. Robert Panaton retired from refereeing at Karate Mania 5 and has been a tremendous supporter of the sports here in Canada now for the past 20 years. Great instructor, Robert Panaton.
And receiving congratulations from the referee, J.T. Wall, as we go inside the dressing room of Tosca Petridis. And of course, the thoughts of the fighter always come into question at a time like this.
Paul Feifeld there with him, a former world-ranked competitor, also from Melbourne, who trains Tosca there in Melbourne. Behind him you see Christopher Coney, the promoter for Tosca Petridis in Australia.
Walking you up to the ring.
He's come a long way from Melbourne.
The ring, guys. Okay. Come on.
But when you want a chance at the best, in Rufus, for example, you sometimes have to do the chasing, as it were, to run down your fights. And he had to come to Verdun to face Theriault. I mean, this is I'm being too harsh to say it's a career make or break fight for somebody like Tosca.
I don't think so. Not at this age. At age 27, even if he were to lose to Theriault, I don't think that would be a breaking point. But I tell you, a win would certainly make his career.
And suddenly rocket him into contention for that World Light Heavyweight Championship. And who knows, a win here, he might get the first chance at a Rick Rufus come October. Tosca Petridis from Melbourne, Australia. What'd you think of his training?
Very powerful. He kicks very powerfully, punches very powerfully as well. He's got the right mental attitude. Question's going to be how on is Theriault and how on is Petridis.
All right, the crowd starts the chant of Jean-Yves here in Verdun. And we will wait and watch as you do for the Iceman. From his dressing room, 38-year-old Yves Theriault will make his entrance into the auditorium here in Verdun. And the Iceman will come through the smoke of dry ice. Yves Theriault is a member of that rare breed of individual, that inspirational one-in-a-million athlete whose very presence moves his legion of fans to frenzy. The legs of steel, the marvelous coordination. are live in Verdun for PKA Karate Mania 6 on Viewers' Choice pay-per-view and in Western Canada home theater. Now let's join our ring announcer, Monsieur Robert Tanguay.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, avant de vous présenter les deux kickboxeurs de la soirée, veuillez maintenant, s'il vous plaît, vous lever pour l'hymne national d'Australie. Would you please now rise for the Australian national anthem? Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, pour l'hymne national canadien, veuillez vous joindre à Madame Sylvie Jasmin.
Au Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front est ceint de fleurons glorieux, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Moments away now from this PKC World Super Middleweight fight between Yves Theriault and Tosca Petridis.
Mesdames, Messieurs, les productions Victor Theriault et la PKA présentent le combat principal de la soirée, prévu pour 12 rondes pour le championnat du monde PKC Super Mi-Moyen, sanctionné par la PKA Alliance mondiale, incluant la WKA, PKC, WAKO et la Régie de sécurité dans les sports du Québec, dont M. Jean-Claude Riendeau en est le président. Victor Theriault Production and PKA Karate, the Kicks of the 90s, presents the main event of the evening, bout scheduled for 12 rounds for the PKC Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Tonight's event is sanctioned by the PKA World Alliance, which includes WKA, PKCWA, Ring Contact Fighting Arts, and the All-Eurasians Council of Kickboxing and PKA Karate Mania 6. It is conducted under the jurisdiction of Jean-Claude Riendeau, President of la Régie de la sécurité dans les sports du Québec. Dans le coin bleu de Melbourne, Australia, pesant 171,9 livres, avec une fiche de 27 victoires, une défaite, dont 21 par mise hors de combat. Il est le champion du monde WKA catégorie mi-lourd. In the blue corner from Melbourne, Australia, he stands at 6 feet 2 inches tall. He weighed in today at 171.9 pounds. He also has a contact karate record of 27 wins, 1 losses with 21 of his wins by knockout. He is the WKA light heavyweight champion of the world, mesdames, messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, Tosca the Thunder Petridis. Et dans le coin rouge de Ottawa, pesant 171 livres, avec une fiche de 67 victoires, 4 défaites et 1 combat nul, dont 59 par mise hors de combat. In the red corner from Ottawa, Ontario, at an even 6 feet, weighed in at 171 pounds, he has a contact karate record of 67 wins, 4 losses and 1 draw, with 59 of his wins by knockout. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, please greet the Iceman, Yves Theriault. Les juges, the judges are Emilie Nadeau, Marcel Jaudoin et Annie Falsone. Les officiels de coup de pied, the kick officials, messieurs Richard Dagraoufel et monsieur Philippe Chartier. Et l'arbitre, the referee, Mr. J.T. Will. Et tout d'abord, mesdames et messieurs, au centre de l'arène avec nous ce soir, nous avons le champion du monde catégorie mi-lourd. With us tonight, he is the super middleweight champion of the world. Mesdames, messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, Rick the Jet Rufus. Mesdames, messieurs, Rufus.
Well, as you heard him say earlier, because of that injury, he was hoping to fight
Également
tonight.
pour souhaiter bonne chance aux 2 kickboxeurs. Mesdames, messieurs, il est lance défenseur du club d'hockey canadien. Il a aidé l'équipe à remporter une 24e Coupe Stanley. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, Patrice Brisebois, Mesdames, Messieurs, du Canadien de Montréal, from the Montreal Canadiens.
From the
Patrice
Stanley Cup
Brisebois.
champion, Montreal Canadien, Patrice Brisebois. Rufus offering congratulations. The best of luck to both
Center.
Theriault and Petridis.
Okay, gentlemen, just a last second reminder, make sure you keep your kicks above the waist. In the case of a knockdown, I'll direct a standing fighter to a neutral corner. You stay there until I call you out. When I say break, step back. Do not hit or kick your opponent. I say
This is the way the tail of the tape is, and most telling is the 12 years in age difference.
Yeah, that's going to be the major determining factor in some people's minds. Theriault doesn't see it as any factor at all.
Interesting, when I pointed out to you when we were watching Theriault, his eyes, the focus in his eyes, you saw it immediately. It really is this strange transformation that goes on with Theriault. This man that you see at the news conference wearing the almost professor-like glasses. And
Well, he's just decided that he's going to take that focus that you're talking about and just go right in on Petridis.
some of his pre-fight comments, Theriault, he says that he expects Petridis to come at him and try and withstand it is what he'll try to do. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would agree with that. It's going to be a question of who's going to back who up in this fight. Petridis has a very good overhand right. Theriault's acting like at this early stage he's going to give him absolutely no respect of any kind.
The right, glancing right, catches Rufus. Right again.
Petridis. Let's don't catch Rufus yet. We're going to catch Rufus.
The reason I'm looking here, Mr. Rufus is sitting beside us. Pardon me, Rick. I know. Welcome to our table here.
Petridis is said to have a good jaw. Theriault has started to try to find the range with the right hand. Deja vu.
That's a warning. Here he is.
Rick, you're finding it a little tough just to sit here, aren't you?
I have a very exclusive interest in this.
Well, I'm sure. Went up to the head and lost his balance.
Nice kick, just yanked his supporting leg right off the floor.
Round one, slated to go 12. Rick, you're right. We heard you comment before. This is the fight you want. Theriault, they're talking about October. Now, Piotrowski's win. How does that affect things here?
I really don't think with Petrowski winning tonight that'll have any effect on what John Yves and I have planned for October. Hopefully he gets through this fight with no bumps, no bruises, and we can sit down and finally map out a fight that's been long awaited. For me, it's destiny, and I'm going to come here to Montreal and, as I said earlier, out with the old, in with the new.
Your scoring on that one, Joe? First round?
I had the first round as an even round. They didn't penalize Petridis for kicking low, and we said deja vu because last time we were here in Karate Mania 5, Leo Deschenaux got disqualified from throwing about 40 low kicks against Theriault, but we don't think that'll happen with Petridis.
That left leg again up around the right ear of Theriault. Got hung up on his shoulder there and exposed himself. Joe was suggesting that age here may be a factor, 12 years difference. Do you think so, Rick?
No, John Yves still has the burning desire that fire within, and he's going to stay here. He said as long as his body will allow him, and he doesn't take any severe punishments, he still looks hot, he still looks good, and he's still a great champion.
The key, Joe, as well, is that when you look at 13 years, 67 fights, or 67 wins, more than 70 fights, average about 5.5 per year. He's never lets himself get out of shape.
Always been in condition the entire time. As we watch here, this Petridis is not intimidated at this point. Nothing has landed solid on Petridis yet to get his attention, as it did early on with Leo Deschenaux.
50-50 there as they both land coming in. You've heard it said before in other sports about home crowds, the factor here. It's not untrue. Petridis needs to take the crowd out of the fight.
Oh, there's no question about it. I can vouch for that. I went to good right hand.
And Petridis is cut on his right eye.
Don't hold him. Continue.
Petridis needs to build a little momentum here and take the crowd out of it, because John Yves here is a national hero. And good right hand.
And John Yves is down here late in round two. John Yves takes the right hand from Tosca Petridis.
Let's go.
Standing 8 from the referee, J.T. Wall. And after suffering the cut, Petridis comes through and lands one on Theriault.
No question about it. John Yves caught the good solid right hand there and he went down. He's not used to that. So the question's going to be, will Guy Millet and the guys in the corner be able to get him back? And that's certainly going to do wonders for Petridis' confidence.
It looked as if the left was low and he snuck the right hand over it.
And Petridis was hurrying his punches over there. He wasn't in calm and collected. He was just tapping John Yves that put him down over in the corner.
We talked about earlier needing momentum. I think that's what Petridis needed.
Well, we talked about the focus and the intensity of somebody such as Jean-Yves Theriault. Now he'll have to dig. He'll have to try and regroup, refocus as we go into round 3. And how'd you score that?
Had that as a 10-8 round for Petridis. And he is just going in to dig the right hand now. That's his favorite technique, is that power right hand. Petridis has got confidence with it.
Gets the left foot up.
please.
Oh, and Petridis now is teeing off a little bit on Theriault. Just charging him. Sneaks the right foot around the kidney.
This is the fight that the Theriault camp did not want to see happen.
Oh, the right again over that left. It's just low from Theriault. And wildly, Petridis.
Oh, right back.
He saw the opening. The wild right.
Petridis is still hurt.
Theriault comes right back here in round 3. Sticks the foot up in self-defense. The right again comes across from Theriault. And the chant of Jean-Yves.
Petridis' legs are still soft. As he stepped back, his legs still weren't there.
Oh, again, that left low and the right snuck in from Petridis.
Let's go. Arm off.
Third round. And both fighters have done their damage early.
Fight out. Push out.
Theriault, though, going back on that late kick from Petridis, and we've completed 3 rounds. Your scoring?
I gave that last one Theriault slim margin 10-9.
You can see the cut around the right eye, right at the corner. The right again, the low left.
Petridis definitely throws a very, very good right hand. It's nice and straight. And if a guy keeps his left hand down like John Yves is doing there, I'm sure they're going to tell him in the corner, put it up.
That right hand hit him right square on the point of the chin. Petridis has a great structure to that jaw, great structure to that chin. And there he comes back, he's landing his own, but then Theriault gets him set and decides he's going to trade right hands with him right after that, and Theriault comes out on top.
Hold it. Keep that ice. Okay, all right. Begin.
Round 4.
The arm off. Keep holding. That's it. Fight out. Do not grab.
Now we saw this explosion where both seem to want to take each other out quickly. Who does it favor if it goes much longer than this? Joe?
Seems to me that the advantage is to Petridis later in the fight, but you just never know how much the Theriault power will take out of him either, Rick.
No, I got to agree with that. Petridis is using the right hand as he's hitting John Yves more. He's building confidence. And I would, you know, John Yves being 38, I guess Petridis has age on his side. Oh, good right hand.
That straight right got through and it rocked him off the ropes.
A good solid right. It was a little high, and again on that face of Petridis, he's got a face built to take punches. What you mean by that is when a guy's got a real solid jaw structure like that and very high and powerful cheekbones, he can normally take more than your average person. Ooh.
Spinning kick misses from Petridis.
Fight out. Keep that arm off.
Petridis is starting to wince a little bit when the Theriault punches come. Just a little.
Yeah, a little warning there from J.T. Wall, but the little slap at the break from Theriault.
Hold it. A warning for holding. Do not hold him.
The referee is
Do not hold him.
Will.
Oh,
Again, that left down, and he pays for it, Theriault.
Keep the arm off.
It was a nice right then by Petridis. He
Right
threw a
out.
1-2 combination. I don't know why Theriault in the corner, they don't have him holding the left arm up a little higher.
Also, it seems, though, when he's turning away, he throws that little left shoulder, Rick, at you. Theriault. He sort of shows you his left side.
I think he's kind of camouflaging the dropping the left by camouflaging the right.
Little bruising already as well under the left eye of Theriault. The cut at the corner of the right eye for Tosca Petridis, the 26-year-old from Melbourne. Our guest is Rick Rufus, of course, who looks at this fight and hopes that Theriault can get through, and for what many people are predicting, the biggest fight ever in professional karate.
Begin.
I'm over here praying, Johnny, put that left hand up. I never knew much about Cassius there, but he's impressed me. He's a good, worthy opponent. No question about it.
Again, that support foot just comes out when he tries that.
It was a jump spinning back kick. Theriault stepped inside of it and pushed his body against Petridis while his other leg was in the air.
Quickly had to score 4.
I had that one dead even with both guys nailing one another, each with one good solid shot in the round.
The crowd reacting to a left foot that was blocked. Oh, that's spinning. Left foot from Petridis just misses. Straight left leg, another right straight into the forehead of Petridis.
Petridis looks over to his corner and winks after that one as though he's definitely not hurt.
And down goes Theriault.
Leg trapped on the shoulder of Petridis.
Begin. Keep the arm off. Fight out. Keep that arm off.
That is somewhere, Joe, I would think that Theriault doesn't want to be inside as he backs away from the spinning kick of Petridis.
Actually, Theriault's best weapons probably are inside in this fight. Rick, what do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. From what I see, it looks like Petridis is trying to get John Yves to back up off the right hand and duck into the left round kick. That's what I'm thinking or seeing.
First, Holyfield has to beat the destroyer, Alex Stewart. John Molina fights to keep his world title in Puerto Rico. Manuel Medina wants to bring the title back to Mexico. Has beat the broken neck. Can he survive two-time world champion Hunnigan? Holyfield Stewart. Molina Medina. Hacienda Hunnigan. Only the strong survive.
We've completed 5. How did you score it?
I had the last one for Theriault, 10-9. I've got him dead even now, 48-48. Front leg hook kick, heel kick as we call it, to the jaw. That's the one where Petridis looked over his corner and winked.
Round 6.
Theriault's trying to beat the right hand now with a left hook. I don't know if that's the thing he should be doing. I think, Rick, I would have him be firing his left jab a little more, Theriault.
Absolutely. I would try to close the distance and fight him on the inside, because when Petridis is on the outside, he has better leverage with the right hand.
Spoken by a man who knows about leverage from the outside.
This time, the right is over the head. Glancing blows by Petridis. The right gets through from Theriault.
Yeah, that was smart of Petridis to hold there. Theriault's doing the same thing he did in the last fight against Leo Deschenaux. Even the kicks that are going to the body that he should be moving out of the way of, he's not.
It seems to me that that other person that's inside Johnny's is let go right now, and he's having a hard time controlling. He's trying to show that he's the power fighter and taking the kicks. And believe me, I've fought some of the best kickers in the world. There's no reason for Johnny's to stay there and take them.
Once again, the crowd here in Verdun getting behind Jean-Yves Theriault.
Hold it. I want penalty point for holding. Do not put your arm around him. Let's go.
That's an important penalty point, but that's the purpose of that rule.
Break. Back. Oh, no.
Whoa.
Do not hit him when I say break. Do not hit when I say break. You all right? Begin.
Oh boy, he left himself open. He came in with a overhand right.
Don't hit him behind the head.
Theriault buried one.
Fight out, push out there. Get that arm off. Push out, break. Continue.
Oh. He's got to keep the left hand up.
Even J.T. Will wondering where the bell was, and they finally. How much smarter of a fighter do you think Jean-Yves is now at 38? Because they always say the older you get, you use your head more. If you don't have it physically, is he a smart fighter?
There's no question. Jean-Yves has 72 fights. He's a great champion. He wouldn't be here today if he wasn't. You know, he's probably slowed his fights down a little more. It's more of a thinking game. But I guess he's hoping this kid burns out, but it looks like he's not.
We've completed 6, and your score, Joe?
Well, I had that as an even round, but Petridis was penalized for holding in that round. That 1 point could cost him dearly. Of course, Theriault nailed him with a good solid right hand in that round, but Theriault got caught a couple of times himself.
And once again, we got a good look at that Petridis jaw. Again, that overhand left, or the overhand right sneaking by the left of Theriault.
Get the arm off, don't hold him.
Now remember, Petridis has already lost a point for holding.
That's it, keep that arm off. Johnny, get that arm off.
And now the warning by J.T. Will to Petridis and to Theriault, both of them for holding.
Theriault blocked that kick by raising his leg. That took a lot of energy for Petridis to get himself off the floor then.
Break! When I say break, you stop immediately.
Halfway through the fight, how do you compare their stamina at this point?
Break! Hold it. Over here. I have a penalty point for a little kick. Kick you right in the leg.
Referee J.T. Will not warning and not
hold the time.
Waiting and not procrastinating as we saw last time when we were here in December on the leg kicks. He took a penalty point after one warning. You warned him once. He took a penalty point for the first one after that, which is this one.
Well, he had a warning earlier, right?
Right. And when I say the first one after that, I mean the first one that he saw. Petridis did land a couple that Mr. Will didn't see.
Break! Step back. All right. Break! When I say break, don't break. Come here. Do not start until I tell you to start. Begin.
That right getting through from Theriault.
Break! Back. All right, continue. Fight out.
Ooh. Oh, again, that right from Petridis sneaks in there.
One of two things has happened. Number one, Petridis has lost steam in it, or number two, Theriault has gained confidence with it.
Jean-Yves definitely has got to keep Petridis at bay. It looks like he's starting to throw the right hands again, and he's catching him on the way in.
Right out, get the arm off, That's it, break.
Yves Theriault. 67 wins as a professional in a 13-year career, 59 of them by knockout. How'd you score that one?
I gave that round to Petridis. Of course, he lost the advantage by kicking Theriault in the leg then. So with Petridis having lost 2 points, I've got them dead even at this point. But I would have had Petridis ahead by 2 points without the penalties.
Passes Petridis.
Rick, how do you compare their stamina after 7?
I think Petridis is in good shape, and John Yves looks to be in shape, but physically at his age, we don't know where he's.
Oh, boy.
Jesus, please.
Don't know what his reaction times are like now in these last rounds.
Oh, there was a good right hand by John Yves.
No. Petridis looking for the low blow from the referee. J.T. Will didn't get the call.
If it was low, I didn't see it low.
It seems like this is the first time I saw John Yves. He's a little hesitant. He's not.
That was a kick he threw into the chain the other day in the training gym.
Hit him square.
That's the technique that I would have had Yves Theriault using from round 1. That left jab. I would have said use it right there, Yves.
Good kick. See, those are the kicks that pay off later in the rounds. You don't want to stand there and take those. I mean, your arms start becoming fatigued and your ribs and your body just aches. And John Yves, being as old as he is, I would assume he wouldn't want to take those.
Hold it arm. Break. Back. Grab him. Both of you.
Round 8 of 12.
John Yves got hit with another right hand.
That's the technique that he learned from Theriault, where he picks up the right hand to fake a kick, and Theriault just did it back to him.
Yep. The right got through, then a right kick from Petridis.
Theriault with a front leg hook kick, followed with a right hand, and fortunately for Petridis, the right hand missed. It was aimed down and skimmed right by his face.
It's interesting. Ricky seemed to get it up there, hesitate for just a second, and give it that extra little snap at the end. It wasn't just.
That's what we call a delayed reaction. You get the guy to pause, hold his hand there. He thinks you're going to kick, and at that time he goes to step in, and you throw it over the hand.
And you scored it?
I had that as an even round myself, and I've got it dead even still. At the end of 8 rounds, I've got it 77-77 because Petridis has lost 2 points.
9th round.
Expensive points for him. JT Will warned the fighters very, very harshly in the rules meeting yesterday that low kicks would receive 1 warning and would receive penalty points thereafter.
I think this is the quietest I've ever heard the crowd.
Well, just as you say that, here they come again. Well, sensing as well, Rick, I think that their favorite son here, Jean-Yves, is in a battle.
There's no question about it. Petridis came to fight. He told me at the press conference he was going to ruin John Yves and I's plans. I just hope he doesn't do that to me.
He said people here hadn't seen him. They would be surprised. He definitely said in the interviews that Rick Rufus would be the one accepting the fight with Petridis.
The right glancing.
Traded rights on that one. Looked like an even exchange. Ooh. It's the first uppercut Theriault's been able to land tonight.
My. Just get the sense to fellows that they're maybe looking for the second win here in this round. Overhand right gets through from Theriault.
I don't know, Mr. Corley, but I think John Yves looks tired.
I think both of them look tired, Rick, but you're definitely right. Mr. Theriault does look tired. Rick, with 3 rounds to go, what would you advise Theriault and what would you advise Petridis at this point if you're in their corner?
If I was in Petridis' corner, I'd be telling him to keep the pressure on John Yves and close and staying close.
Is that what a Rick Rufus would do in the late rounds against a Yves Theriault?
Depends how I broke him down. If I was winning the fight and I was far ahead on points, I'd make him come to me and make him pay. Because John Yves' forte is to stand in there and fight on the inside and slug. And basically, the name of the game that I've always believed is hit and not get hit. That's why I can talk to you guys.
How'd you score it, Joe?
I had that last round marginally for Theriault, so I've got him up by 1 point now, 87-86.
Fight out, get the bar ball, let's go.
And you're right, you make a good point. You know, it's those telling little blows. They don't look like much, but those kicks to the arms, after a while, the muscles start to ache and the arms get a little heavier and you leave yourself open.
Believe me, after a fight, it takes me more than a day to come down, and when you do come down, you feel soreness in places you couldn't even imagine.
And what the average viewer at home should understand is these kinds of kicks that they're landing on each other are the kind of kicks, if they landed on the average person in a self-defense situation, would definitely disable the arm. There was another low kick a second ago. Petridis snuck that one by. Jay Will missed it. Can't see them all if they throw them on the other side of you. You can't always see them.
Theriault lunging at Petridis.
Continue. Head up.
And you're looking at 2 tired fighters here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think
Arm off, let's go, fight out.
John Yves needs his hometown here to build a little momentum for him, to get behind him, especially in the last 2 rounds. He's going to need it. I think, Mr. Coyle, the last 2 rounds will probably be the deciding factor of the fight.
They really could make a big difference here. Big difference. Last 2 rounds, as close as I have it here. Remember, I have it.
Let's go. Begin. Arm off. Keep it arm off. Break.
Rick Rufus, we thank you very much for joining us.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. It's a pleasure.
8 or 9 rounds here. We wish you continued success. We hope that you heal well, and we hope that your dream fight with Theriault comes true.
Rick, before you go, give me your prediction. What's going to happen in this fight, next 2 rounds?
I think Petridis is going to have to come out, put a lot of pressure on John Yves. He's tired, and stay on top of him if he wants to win. Now, John Yves has got to stop Petridis, and he's got to do it quick to keep him off him.
Who's going to win it, Rick Rufus?
Of course, John Yves. I got to say John Yves. I just want to thank all the people that tuned in tonight for watching, and I hope you guys tune in when John Yves and I fight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rick. How did you score that round?
I had the last round even again, so I've got Theriault up by 1 point. 2 rounds left, as Rick Rufus just said. These could be the most important rounds of the fight.
2 rounds for Jean-Yves Theriault to set up what some people predict will be the biggest payday. A fight between himself and Rick Rufus.
Push out there, push out.
Now at this point, with it being so close, I mean, you have it so close, 1 point for Theriault, unofficially. 2 fighters look for that 1 punch, or they look to score the point.
I think both guys are trying for the 1 punch still, and that's probably that's been a problem for both fighters in this fight. Both of them are knockout fighters. Petridis with 21, Theriault with 59, 80 knockouts between them. They go for the knockout. Normally speaking, you would say in the corner, forget the knockout, and go after the guy and just stun him. Don't try to knock him out, just stun him. Short punches like that.
Little right, short right gets through by Theriault. Left right by Petridis.
That left jab of Theriault neutralizes every weapon that Petridis has, and he just hasn't utilized it. Now against Rick Rufus, who's going to move around Theriault a lot, you wonder what he's going to use as his weapon to close the distance.
Eleven rounds. We're going to the 12th, the deciding round here at the auditorium in Verdun. Jean-Yves Theriault in the toughest fight of his life, or possibly the biggest payday of his life. How'd you score that last one?
I had the last one even, so I've still got Theriault up marginally, 1 point, 107, 106 after 11 rounds. So what Rick Rufus said would be the 2 most important rounds now could narrow down to 1 round.
One last drink of water for Tosca Petridis. The mouthpiece is in. Theriault was first off his stool. Tosca Petridis, Jean-Yves Theriault. Karate Mania 6, and it's here on Viewer's Choice pay-per-view.
If you're in Petridis' corner, you might have told him, listen, you're in Theriault's hometown, you've lost 2 points. If you want to win this, you better knock him out. You better go in and do everything you possibly can to knock him out. Question, does he have enough there to do that with?
Back, all the way back, all the way back. I tell you, continue. Break!
The right misses by Theriault. The right foot gets caught.
That shows you how tired he is, because the strength in his other leg normally would have held him. Theriault with a front leg swing kick from the 38-year-old in round number 12.
Now listen to the crowd here in Verdun. They realize it. Round 12, the final round, is coming to an end. They want the big finish from Theriault.
And this Petridis, this Tosca Petridis is no sissy. He is no sissy.
Under 30 seconds.
Petridis has established himself on a worldwide basis tonight, no matter what the outcome is, as one quality competitor.
Oh, that foot snuck in.
Jay Will knew it wasn't intentional. I think he let it go for that reason.
for the PKC World Super Middleweight Championship, Yves Theriault and Tosca Petridis. And you scored that last round?
I would have given that one to Theriault myself, which means without the points taken away, I would have had this fight scored as a dead even draw.
Well, so much now is on the line, of course. Yves Theriault, with the win, will set up the big payday showdown with Rick Rufus this fall. They're talking about October. And Rufus, of course, as he said with us, hoping that Tosca Petridis wouldn't pick his pocket here in Verdun. The crowd acknowledging Petridis, the 26-year-old from Melbourne, Australia. Let's go to Howard Darwin.
Dr. John Keating, you've worked a number of Yves Theriault fights. Have we seen the last of the Iceman with this decision forthcoming?
This was the first time I've ever seen Yves not dominate in the fights that I've been at, and he did not dominate this fight.
I know we're all awaiting the judges' scorecards. How did you score this bout?
I had the Australian ahead by 2 points.
Well, Joe and Vic, we're waiting for the judges. Back to you.
Well, it's interesting. The doctor has him ahead by 2 points. It could be those 2 points that he may have lost, according to the judges. And Joe unofficially had him down by 115, 117. Theriault in front. Those 2 points being taken away by the referee, J.T. Will. Always the favorite, Yves Theriault here in Verdun, as we await now the judge's decision. 3 judges. The referee, Mr. Will, has no say. "13-year career for Yves Theriault. And as the doctor mentioned, you come to expect, even at the age of 38, and despite the wonderful condition, that this man is going to dominate every fight he takes. But not tonight. Tosca Petridis giving the Iceman everything he could handle.
Oh, the fuck's back on.
Petridis from Melbourne, Australia. The first time that Karate Mania is available nationally in Canada. We thank you for joining us on Viewer's Choice pay-per-view in Eastern Canada and on home theater in Western Canada. Viewer's Choice pay-per-view, offering world-class live events and top box office movies 7 days a week, over 18 hours a day.
Mesdames, Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, voici maintenant la décision des juges. Here are the judges' decision. Juge Falsoni, Judge Falsoni, 115, 114, 115, 114. Juge Jaudoin, Judge Jaudoin, 110, 116, 110, 116. Juge Nadeau, Judge Nadeau, 115, 111, 115, 111. Le gagnant par décision majoritaire. The winner by majority decision est le nouveau champion PKC, Tosca Petridis.
Well, look at
Petridis.
that. Look at that. Tosca Petridis is the winner by decision and has stunned this crowd in Verdun. And at the same time, he has literally picked the pocket of Rick Rufus. Rufus expecting to have the biggest payday, the showdown with Theriault this fall. And now that, for all intents and purposes, is gone. And it would seem that now it is Marek Piotrowski as we go to Joe and the winner, Tosca Petridis.
Tosca, you came a long way. You went to a decision. Did you really expect to win a decision in his hometown?
Hey, I was ready to go 1 or 12 rounds, but I'd just like to thank a few people. Victor Theriault for bringing me here, all the Canadians for supporting me, and one very idol of mine, Yves Theriault, for letting me fight him, and yourself, Joe Corley. Hey, I love this joint. Hey, and the boys back home, we did it!
Tosca, tell us, what was the most powerful thing that landed on you during the fight?
Oh, I'll tell you something. I'm not going to tell him, but he's got one beautiful uppercut. I tell you, I think my jaw's out of place. But I'd like to thank Theriault. He's been an idol to me. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, the question for you is this. We said that we had a major Rick Rufus bout pending with Yves Theriault and Rick Rufus. Tosca Petridis interested in filling in for Theriault?
Hey, I'll do anything. I'll fight anyone on this planet. I think if you're going to be the best fighter in the world, you got to fight them all. Like I said, he's one great legend.
We want Rick Rufus and we'll take him, Joe. Anytime, any place. Anytime, any place.
Christopher Cronus is here, the fight manager for Mr. Petridis. Just 1 second, Tosca. Christopher, any chance of, would you like to see Tosca come back to America? Would you like to do something in Australia, one or both?
We love the States. Kickboxing in Australia is a humongous sport. I promote in Melbourne myself. We get big crowds like you got, a fantastic crowd here. It's great to see a crowd like this supporting kickboxing. We're willing to go anywhere on this planet. We're willing to fight anyone, anytime. We've got some very tough fighters in Australia, and this boy here is our toughest.
Tosca, one more question for you. Tosca, one more question for you. Would you give Yves Theriault a rematch here in Montreal?
Hey, I'll give him a rematch. I'll give him a rematch for my title if he wants. Hey, I'll give him a rematch. That guy's a legend. I'd just like to thank him for giving me the opportunity to fight him. One more thing, I'd like to thank Viewer's Choice, my girlfriend, Paul Fife for my trainer. Hey, Paul, come here, please.
Okay, we're trying to get Yves Theriault in, and while we're waiting for Yves Theriault, Paul Feifel, what was the turning point in this fight as far as you were concerned? You're the trainer for Tosca.
I don't think there was a turning point. It was just consistency the whole way through. Yves Theriault was very strong. We thought he'd weaken at the end, and he didn't. But Tosca's kept it in there. I think both fighters found it very hard to breathe in here. Very hard. I was sweating like a pig, and I wasn't doing a thing. I can't see why Tosca's... I can't see any turning point. I just keep on going.
Thanks, Paul. We got Yves Theriault close by. Yves, what was the corner telling you at the end? Did you think the title was in jeopardy there at all?
No, I thought I controlled the fight. I mean, I got a couple of punches, of course. Everybody saw that. Second round, I went down. It was a combination of a punch and my legs kind of were crossed. But he punched me a couple of times, but I didn't think that I lost a majority like that. 116, 110, that's pretty stiff. 115, 111, that's very stiff. Even had I won, I don't think it would have been a reflection of how tight it was.
You know, there's an interesting situation that we run into in Montreal where you have the sport controlled by the Régie. It's a Montreal Athletic Commission. They dictate who the judges are and so on. Do you know anything about the judging in the fight?
Well, I'm going to say something that maybe I shouldn't. Jesus loves everybody. However, I think those are motherfucking assholes.
Well, that's an unusual remark from Mr. Theriault, I think. Now, one final question for you. If Petridis would give you a rematch here in Montreal, would you be interested early?
Sure. I mean, you know, give me a chance to recuperate a little bit from the training. 12 rounds always hard. The heat was a bit of a factor today. I took a leg kick in the first round or second round, and I mean, there's a bruise there. I mean, it wasn't a big factor, but of course, you know, when you can't move as easily as you want, you know. But I certainly would love for him to give me a rematch.
Soon?
Yeah, of course, soon.
Yves Theriault, obviously disappointed, somewhat bitter about the decision here in Montreal. As we scored it at ringside, it was very difficult for me to score it. I can't really comment on how competent I believe the score was. Obviously, Tosca Petridis liked it a lot. Vic?
Joe, thank you very much. Yeah, Tosca did love it a lot as he wins the PKC World Super Middleweight title in stunning fashion, really. here in the hometown of Jean-Yves Theriault in Verdun, where this man is idolized by many, including Petridis. So what does that do now for the championship fight with Rick Rufus? Well, we'll have to wait and see come October. Maybe Rufus will meet Petridis, or maybe he'll meet Marek Petrovsky, depending on how Petrovsky does with his separated shoulder. Quite an ending to a wonderful evening of PKA karate here in Verdun. Now, on behalf of Joe Corley, Howard Dolgan, and our entire crew, I'm Vic Rauter. Thanks for joining us. Until we talk with you again, goodbye from Verdun. This is PKA Karate Mania 6 on Viewer's Choice Pay-Per-View and Theater.